What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime coming back at you with another video. And in today's video, guys, I'm here to bring you all my review of Erased, otherwise known as Boku Dake ga Inai Machi, episode 9. So let's get this started. So before we actually start off with this review, can I just say that this episode was on point? I mean, this was a really good episode. Can we give it a round of applause? Well, let's give it a round of applause, guys. Come on, let's give it a round of applause. Okay, so backtracking on to where we left off in last week's episode of Erased, we saw at the very end Hinazuki's mother was about to attack Hinazuki once Hinazuki managed to get back home. However, the mother was stopped by this when she saw Satoru and Satoru's mother standing right behind Hinazuki. Now, why exactly are they there? Well, obviously to bring about justice for Hinazuki and hopefully get Hinazuki out of the custody of her mother and into a safer custody. And, you know, in the episode 8 as well, we saw that the teacher and Hinazuki's mother were devising a plan of sorts to go through with this plan. And simply put, the teacher wanted Satoru's mother to actually arrive at the scene before he did, and we come to find out in this episode that, in fact, that was the case. Satoru's mother was there at first before the teacher and the other teachers arrived at the scene in order to get Hinazuki out of custody of her mother. And it seems that in this episode we also found out that why exactly the mother was abusing her child in the first place. Well, simply put, she had an abusive husband. And you know what? I saw that coming too, and I'm glad that the writer of this series actually put, you know, why exactly the mother is beating her child in the first place. Because if she is simply just beating her child for the heck of it, that's just plain stupid. I'm glad that there's actually, you know, a reason behind it. You know, because usually people who end up getting abused abuse other people. So I'm really glad that got explained in this episode, and it seems that Hinazuki is officially safe now. She is safe and she is rescued from her unfortunate death. She is now going into the custody of her mother and will be safe for the remainder of her time. Now, she doesn't have to live with a abusive parent, and overall, whoever is the killer, you know, she is safely away from the killer in general. But there still seems to be two other children in the timeline that Satoru still has to rescue, and that is one of his friends named Hiromi and another girl named Aya Nabayashi, I think. But you know what? The most suspicious part of this episode is when we see Satoru and Satoru's mother in the teacher's car, and Satoru sees a bag sticking out of the glove compartment, and the teacher is like, "No, Satoru, please do not pull that out." And Satoru ends up pulling it out anyway, and it turns out to be a bag just filled with candy that spills out all over the floor within the car. And the teacher is like, "Oh, I guess you found me out." And Satoru is expecting something at this point, like, you know, he is very suspicious as to why he has a bunch of candy within his car. And the teacher says, simply put, that ever since I quit smoking, candy has pretty much been my substitute. And, like, I'm just like, yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. You are already a candidate for the possible killer of Erased. I mean, why do you have a bunch of candy within your car? You know, because candy is technically used as a luring device in order to attract children, you know, picking up for weirdos out there. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this guy right now. I really don't, you know, because he has been hinted as the possible killer, and now he has a bunch of candy in his car. And then after that very one scene within the car, we see Satoru, Kenya, and Hanomi arrive at the hideout, and all of the boxes are gone. And the man that went into the trailer within the woods when Hinazuki was there that night, you know, he ended up putting a bunch of boxes there before. And if we listen to the dialogue within this episode of Erased, within that scene in the car, Satoru ends up telling, you know, the teacher where exactly Hinazuki was kept the whole entire time away from her mother. So, coincidence? I think not, because maybe, you know, the teacher is actually the one that ended up putting those boxes in there when Hinazuki was asleep that one night. And I don't know, there's a little bit of a correlation going on here with the teacher being the possible killer. So, yeah. And of course, at the very end of this episode, we see that Hiromi, Satoru, and Kenya are going somewhere to go talk about something of great importance. But they are not going to the hideout, which is where they usually talk about things. So they're going somewhere different. And what exactly they're going to talk about, we won't find out until the very next episode of Erased. But it does seem like that girl that Satoru ended up knocking some sense into when she was making fun of Hinazuki is actually suspicious. She is very ominous because apparently, I don't know, she has something planned because she stayed in the classroom and then once everybody left the classroom, she was the last to leave. So, and also it seems that Satoru, Kenya, and Hiromi, when they left, their other friends, the two other kids that are within their group that really don't know about what's going on with Satoru, Kenya, and Hiromi, they left and followed Satoru, okay? So, if they are going to follow them, then I'm pretty sure that the little girl wants to get payback and is going to follow them in order to get to Satoru. But what exactly she has in mind, as I said, we won't find out until the very next episode of Erased. This was a very fun and entertaining episode of Erased. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm really glad that we got clarification as to why exactly the mother was beating her child in the first place, and also, you know, pretty much Hinazuki is now safe from the killer within the current timeline. There are still two other children that still need to be rescued, but still, Satoru has now officially changed the timeline to where Hinazuki is now safe from an abusive mother. She's now in the custody of her grandmother, and also she's now safe from being killed by whoever is the killer, and we could possibly see a adult version of Hinazuki in the present timeline of Erased, since now she is officially safe by Satoru whenever Satoru actually goes to the present timeline. So yeah, what did you guys think about this episode of Erased? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, if you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to stay up to date to my future content on this channel and see more reviews on Erased, then please hit the red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Love you all, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a great day.